So, I want to, before we start, yeah, it's great. Before we start, I would like to say thank you for all the organizers, because this event is really huge and wonderful. This is a tough job to prepare such a big event with the professionals from the industry. So, I would like you to applause for them, not for me, but for them, for those who organize. All right? Yes, because they're doing a really great job. And today I'm gonna present and we're gonna talk with the professionals. My name is Ilya. Here's the Victor. He's the sport lawyer with a huge experience in the industry. And today we're gonna speak a little bit about the future of the football industry and about the future in terms of the using the smart contracts and how they gonna change the football industry. So there isn't a certain reason why I would like to speak about this, the needs of the transformation, because this May, Deloitte published the annual review of football finance when they emphasizing that there is the needs to change. There are some needs to be have to be done in order to make the football industry more transparent, and especially talking about the digital transformation and using the unique and transparent transfer systems in order to avoid any mistakes, errors. All of us, everyone who is sitting in this room, the professional from the industry, and you as the professionals, as an experts, are well aware about the existing problems. For example, there are some cases of the transfers, the huge money transfers was failed because of the technical error, the human mistake, and well, we're talking about the industry, the multi-million industry, which football it is. And how is that possible that in such a huge industry these cases are happen in the 21st century? So we need something to be changed. And also, some of the clubs are now participating in some ICO projects, which are the new trend, but most of them, according to the SEC, the Security and Exchange Committee, is most of them, 90% of them, are scam projects, because this is the industry which are not fully transparent right now, but trying to be modern, trying to be in trends. The football clubs are willing to participate in these projects with a kind of weird and strange, not transparent nature. So this is the reason why we would like to talk about the smart contracts. And well, before that, we need to give a clear definition and understand what it is. What is the smart contracts? The whole idea was created in mid-19th by the scientist Nick Szabo, who published some articles, some works about the smart contracts. So the idea of the smart contracts is that the logic written in the smart contracts are automatically execute without human participation. So everything is written in the smart contracts, gonna execute, gonna happen without participation of the human. So the smart contracts, the real smart contracts, are follow the logics written there, follow the legislation, the laws which existed. It's automatically trying to find the solution if anything goes wrong. So the real smart contracts looks like that. Some of the smart contracts was being implemented. There were some attempts to implement smart contracts, but most of them was not meet the requirement of the modern business. So that's why still the smart contracts are not used fully in the industry. But we call the real smart contracts meta contracts. So this is the first implementation of the true smart contracts, and it's better to show you the meaning of this on the real example. So, for example, let's take this is the typical scheme of the football transfer, and the Victor, who is the lawyer, who was participating in a lot of these deals, could say, please, Victor, tell us how much it takes to execute all of these processes in the real life.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure being here. I would like to congratulate the organization, as Ilya has said, and thank for the opportunity of being here. It's really a pleasure. My friends Ilya and Oleg invited me to ask me to come here to very openly tell you that my beloved profession as a sports lawyer is about to be over. As sad as it could be, as it can be, I would say that indeed smart contracts have a lot to add for our market. I usually say whenever I'm talking about the transfer market that one of the main pillars, I would say, of the system created by FIFA and the reason why it has developed so much as a global market, which enables players to move from Brazil to Russia, from China to the USA, is the dispute resolution system that FIFA has implemented 20 years ago. So with the use of smart contracts, a lot of this dispute resolution is going to be simply over. It's going to be simply resolved and in an automatic manner. You know better than me that the decentralized consensus that a smart contract based in the blockchain network adds to this type of contract. So you won't need the third-party intervention, an intervention of FIFA, or the will of the party. So you get to remove one basic element of any contract, any classic contract, which is the trust between the parties. It is, of course, is not going to be eliminated, but it diminishes a lot, and it makes transactions much more simple. So in the context of a transfer where you have contracts between clubs, you have a relationship between the clubs and third parties, with previous clubs being involved, receiving training payments, training compensation, or solidarity payments, where you have agents receiving payments from either parties, from the clubs, from the players. You have all these relationships being automated in a binary manner, which prevents a lot of interpretation and swiftly resolves many disputes and controversies. So that's basically what I would comment. I do think it is a invaluable input for the industry, which Ilya can continue with it.
Yeah, but so still, how much time does it take to all of these processes to implement? Maybe someone from the audience would like to say, for example, like approximately how much time does it take to implement all of these processes? 6 months. Good version, yeah. Makes sense. 2 months, I heard. So maybe a year, could be a year. But with implementing the smart contracts, with the automatical execution of all the processes, all of these transactions, which here could happen for, I don't know, like that, for 5 seconds, for 2 seconds, for 3 seconds. If all of these parties will participated in the smart contract platforms, that could happen automatically, and the execution goes automatically as well. It's all protected, so that could reduce the costs for the clubs, for the agents, for all the parties who's participating in these processes. So this is why the smart contracts is the future of the football industry. And when Deloitte talking about the digital transformation and about the transformation that have to be done in the transfer system, we think and we're considering this is as the main solution that could be used for all the participants. So that could be the next step to the future. So talking about the inside part of the platforms with smart contracts, there are two basic concepts: contract as a service and contract-oriented smart applications. And also there are a lot of systems which used right now by the clubs, like CRM system, ERP system, and etc. But still they not meet the requirement of the modern business in most cases, and the workflow which happens inside the industry still takes a lot of time and takes a lot of participation of the human, and there are also a lot of possibilities to the mistakes. So all of these things have to be implemented in the smart contract systems in order to make it safe and clear. And also there is such a thing as event sourcing. Event sourcing means that the documents used on the platform, they are not stored in the final state. All of the changes in the documents are saved, and it also means that when the one contract is correlated with other ones, or the condition of the deal is changed, all of the logics which is written in one contract goes to the other contracts, and all of these contracts are changed automatically for the 1 second. So this is also the from our perception, this is the future, which is supposed to be implemented just right now. So FIFA talks a lot about the such thing as transfer slavery, but there are also the things that calls digital slavery. We're all using a lot of digital tools, digital things, applications. Some of them are free of charge, but still we are paying for them. And what is the currency? What is the currency we paid for using the services? Our personal data, information about us. We live in the information in order to use the platform, to use the services. So this is how they use our personal data, and this is how we lost our privacy. And there are a lot of cases when the CEO and people from the big company was courted in the courts in front of the audience about the usage of the personal data and the third party getting access to the personal data and the personal information of the customers, of the users. So here in the usage of the smart contracts, that could be it's not going to be the problem. So the percentage of the transaction will be like the small percent from the every transactions made, which is 0.25%, which is not big because some of the exchange systems, the money systems, the wallets, they use even 2 or 3% of the transactions, and there would be no user slavery because all the personal data will be hosted, and all of the personal information will be saved from the usage of the third parties. So the verification system. So in order to protect the personal data, we need to provide the safety and the verified user systems. So for that, when the customers are verified on the platform, they have to spend a lot of to leave a lot of things like the face, voice, even the iris. But this is the thing that we need to be done in order to protect the information, and all of the deals which are happening on the platform will be saved, and all the people who are verified in the system will be able to provide that. And also there is a lot of things about the safety have to be done, but still this is the we're supposed to do it once in order to use it in the future for a lot of times. So also, smart contracts provide us with the amazing opportunity of tokenization. And this is the interesting part, not only for those who are working in the industry, but also for the fans and the supporters. So all of us already know the idea of tokenization, because organizers, they even tokenize the food. Here, when we have a lunch, we have to pay by tokens, not by the real money. So the idea of tokenization means that the people or brands with the social capital, they can tokenize themselves in order to earn the money and interact with the fans, with the audience. So the tokenization means that the tokens is becoming the currency, but it's not gonna trade on other platforms. They're gonna used only for the transactions inside the platform. So the tokenization of the personality in brand, in case when we're talking about the football, there's gonna be the clubs or the football players, and also for those who would like to have some advantages, there are such things like early access tokens, which will give them three significant things. They can be the first who have tokens. They can sell them later with the higher price, and they can have some benefits from the clubs and from the players. So the footballer tokens, what is that? This is the opportunity for the fans to feel themselves the part of the industry by purchasing the tokens of the players, the economical tokens of the players, or image rights of the current players or the already retired ones. So this gives a lot of good benefits for the participants. So the clubs, by tokenizing the rights of the players and the image rights of the players, they can attract some early money. The FIFA and other organizations, they can solve the problem of the third-party ownership, and they also have a lot of information, like the analytical data about the popularity of other players, because the tokens, they on a free market, so only demand describes their prices. The fans, they can open the door to the closed industry, which is the football, so they can feel themselves the part of the industry. They can participate in that processes, so they can go to the closed doors. And for the players, this is also the opportunity to extend their brand, their personal brand, to be in touch with the fans, with the supporters. So this is a lot of significant benefits which all the parties will have. And so the platform which we talking about in terms of the smart contracts is called Metamorphosis. So there is a legal marketplace. That means that all the participants, they don't have to create all the documents which are participated in the workflow for themselves. There is a library of already existed documents which could be rated already by the participants. So anything you have to do is to choose the right document from the marketplace, and then through the widgets, just change the things that have to be changed, like, I don't know, the duration, the salary, for example, if you're talking about the contract with the player and the clubs. So you need to change these things, and automatically all other parameters will be changed automatically. So there are templates and business logic designered contracts there. This is also the opportunity to collaborate and coordinate inside the platform. All of the processes will be automatically executed, so the processing goes automatically. And also, there is the global management center, resource management center for the global business, and a lot of other features, like there is opportunity to chat, to organizer, the advisor, which helps the customer to go and use the platform. So this is the main idea of the smart contracts, the platform which could be used in the smart contracts. Here's how the application looks like. I mean the mobile application for fans who can purchase the tokens, as we said before, who can participate in other things, like, because in order to keep our customer there, we need to create their interests. So this is also the tool, and we would like to speak about the gamification process, because this is something, the tokens, as I said, which already purchased, could be the internal financial tool. They can be changed. They can be used to develop their character inside the platform. So all the customers could have different roles they used before, like the player, the manager, the owner of the stadium. So this is like the whole football industry inside the application, and the tokens, not only the tool to have part of the tokenized tokens of the players, but this is the also internal currency inside the platform. So also the customers will have access to the exclusive content, some prizes. So this is like all of this ecosystem works inside the platform. So this is the simulator of the football industry inside the platform, and also this is the also good way for the customers to keep interested into the platform. So talking about the current situation, we already prepared everything to make a step to the future, because the platform is already done. So the Metamorphosis will be available this December, and the Meta Football will be released in the beginning of the next year. So summarizing, so the smart contracts is the solution for the future of the football industry, and everything we have to do now is just to be brave enough to make that step. So this is pretty much it, and we would like to discuss it. If anyone has any question, we would like to discuss the opportunities of using the smart contracts with you. So thank you. Yeah, sure.
Hi. When we are closing any kind of deals, for example, the transfer of a player, there is always some taxation consequences. And I don't see very clear with this kind of contracts where I have to pay, because it's not like a direct transaction. So where I have to pay, where this app is located, where the new club is located, and how paid, and how we calculate the sum of the tax. And if we are in a dispute context, how can I get all of this into a solid proof, to go to a FIFA DRC or to the TAS? This is one question, like with two lines. And then, as a sports lawyer, after this, I am very worried, because I don't know which kind of skills we have to develop to still being like an important part of the system, because you see all of this event, and looks like all the environment of the football is not focused on develop new tools for we the lawyers to, like I said before, still be important to all this environment. So if you can remember all the questions, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Let's start from the previous one. So you are working as a sports lawyer, right? So you are still gonna be important part of the industry, because we cannot exclude the sport lawyers from the negotiation process. But the smart contracts is just the tool for the execution, the safe, clear, and quick execution of all of the things which is you can see on the picture. So you still will be the part of the industry as the lawyer, in order to negotiate with the parties which participating in the deals. And the first question was, could you remind?
Tax,
Yeah, yeah. And Victor?
issues. Yeah.
Just adding a point on what Ilya said. In terms of disputes, the automatization ends up shifting the burden in litigation. So whenever whenever a condition is implemented, and for instance, a payment is triggered, if there is any reason to contest this payment, it's going to be a shifted burden. The other party will have to contest the validity of such payment or the legality of such payment. So at the end of the day, you will have to afford context to the DRC or to whatever body it is in order to prove that that specific condition has not been implemented or somehow should be changed.
And the first question was about the taxation. Taxation issue. So here on the scheme, we have a lot of participants. You can just add at the scheme, like imaginary, the taxation, the inside taxation, and the taxation rates in the different countries is different, right? So yeah, you just go automatically, and you add the taxation there, and the contracts will automatically change through the event sourcing, which I mentioned before in the presentation. So all the taxation also goes automatically because it's written in the logic of the contract. If something happened that not written in the logic of the contract, the system automatically trying to find the solution. If it's not, they give the notification to the parties that this is not clear, and etc. So then also the lawyers needs to have some to add something to make it clear. So don't be worried, you're still gonna be participating in the industry. You're still gonna have your job, because this is important. This is just the tool to make it easier to execute, but the importance of the lawyers still gonna be the same. Thank you for the questions. If there are no questions, I would like again say thank you for those who watched this presentation. Thanks to the organizers, and yeah, let's be brave enough to make the step to the future. Thank you.